I never thought this story would make it to YouTube, because when I tell you, I was out of my mind.
You wanna cheat on me? I paid for this car, you stupid bitch, huh? Now you fucking laughing, you stupid bitch. Keep fucking playing with me.
Hey, it's Bri, and I have a story for you. If you've been here before, thanks for stopping by. And if you're new here, go ahead and click that red button and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell for notifications, because I know after this video, you guys are gonna wanna see Bri all the time, every time I upload. Okay, so honestly, I am so nervous to film this video. Technically, today was my day off. But I don't know, every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back, okay? I'm addicted to YouTube, what can I say? So today's video is actually inspired by the toxic relationship between Blueface Baby and Krishan Rock.
I do the most for you.
Yeah, you do. And I do like a little bit of the most for you.
As I'm filming this video, they are literally fighting on Twitter, like right now. So originally, I got the idea to do a commentary video on the toxic relationship between Blueface Baby and Krishan Rock. And I was pretty much gonna give my thoughts on how I feel like they continue to drag us in the drama. Like, it's almost like we can't even mind our business. Like, we keep getting pulled into their relationship. And it's like, when is it gonna end? I ultimately decided not to do that video because, to be honest with you, I don't like all the research that comes with doing a commentary video. That's why this story time also includes a bit of a girl talk, because I really feel like a lot of people are quick to bash Krishan when in real life a lot of us are going through the exact same thing. We're just not famous. Like, the Shade Room is not posting our day-to-day life, and I feel like it's easy to pass judgment on her. It's easy to write her off as crazy because of how she's acting. But I feel like at some point, if your ass is over 25, you've been a Krishan Rock.
I love you, bro.
Why are you crying though? Like, why is tears coming from her?
I don't know why they come out, babe.
If you never have had to go down that path, shout out to you. You must be God's favorite bitch. But over here, we have experienced a fair amount of toxic relationships, not just romantic wise, but with friends and family as well. And that is ultimately what sparked the idea for today's story time. Let's get into the story of how I pulled up on my toxic ex. I never thought I was gonna do this story. I was definitely out of my motherfucking mind. I was mad. And when I get mad, like, I can't even think straight, especially when I feel like somebody has played with me in the way that he played with me. Like, he let me know that we were enemies, and I wanted him to see how I treat my fucking ops. Period. Y'all got me ready to roll one up and tell you this story, because I'm about to stress myself out thinking about the person that I used to be, okay? This story is a little embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie, because why did I even care that much? If I'm not mistaken, this story time takes place last year. I know that I was living with my aunt at the time, so maybe this was like about a year ago. Time is flying, bitch. Oh my God. So yes, this was a time in my life where I was still living with my aunt. I had a car at the time, which is very important because, I mean, how else do you think I pulled up on him? So at the time, I had my little Volkswagen. I don't want to say I was in a healing phase, because I feel like right now is my healing phase, because I'm seeing things about my life from a totally different perspective. So I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you guys. I will say that during this time in my life, I was realizing things. During this time, I pretty much put two and two together and realized that I was being cheated on, and I was kind of like forced to accept the fact that I valued somebody, I invested in somebody, I put somebody on a pedestal that literally did not deserve it. Like, I was forced into accepting the fact that I wasted a good amount of my life on somebody that could drop me like a fucking hot potato, and I say that because he actually did. At this time in my life, I was still low-key dealing with my ex, and I was doing it because I was really trying to figure out, like, do you hate me?
This little crybaby with me.
Crybaby? That's
Yeah, what the fuck is you crying for? What you crying for? Tell him why you crying.
Cause you ain't shit.
Like, how come I can find out you're cheating and you won't even admit to me you cheated? But when I cheated on you, both times that I cheated on you, I was honest. Like, I could put my hand on the Bible that when my ex-boyfriend would put two and two together and be like, hey, you cheated on me, I never stood in his face and lied. Like, I just took accountability. And so I kept going around my ex even after the breakup because I was trying to wrap my head around the fact that, like, he had no respect for me at all, that he really did not feel like I was worth telling the truth to. I don't even know if that made sense, but I just feel like if you respect somebody, if you have been in a relationship with somebody for as long as we were in a relationship, like, damn, bro, you could just be honest, especially when you already got caught. I would hang out with him, I would go back to my auntie's house, and I would still be spiraling because it was fucking with my self-esteem that I was going around somebody and acting like everything was fucking cool when deep down I knew I wanted the truth, and deep down I knew that if I kept going around, he would keep thinking that everything was cool and he wouldn't have to give me the truth. I just had enough. Like, I was just sick of it. I was sick of random ass people coming in my DMs on Instagram off all these fake pages. I was literally being gang stalked. You know, finding out that he wasn't just cheating on me with like random people. He was literally seeking out girls that I went to high school with, people that I was fucking close to. It was like everything that he did behind my back, lying on me, hooking up with my friends. I literally, like, I don't even know. I feel like I just blacked out. I was in the mood to hop in my car and fucking confront him. Especially because at the time, it wasn't like he was going nowhere. He had just got hit by a car. I guess I wanted him to feel how I felt. Because when I lived with him, there would be times where I would be having a good day, minding my business, and he would just literally ruin my day. Like, he was the kind of person that would go out of their way to fuck your day up. I don't know if you've ever encountered somebody like that, a boss like that, maybe a coworker like that, but I literally was in a relationship with somebody for years and it did not dawn on me that he did not like me, okay? And when it did dawn on me, like I said, I wanted him to feel how I felt. That's just where I was emotionally at the time. What y'all want me to say? Now, there's some information that I have been holding back from you guys as I've been sitting here in front of the camera. It really just like irritates me in my spirit to even talk about. But during this time, I found out that there was somebody that was doing like black magic on me. I don't want to get too deep into it because I really don't want to get irritated. Like, if I sit up here and really talk about that shit, it's gonna piss me off. And if I'm telling you right now in 2022 that I don't want to talk about it because I know it's gonna piss me off, imagine how I felt when I just found out that somebody was attacking me like spiritually. Now, I uploaded a story time about the whole black magic thing, but I just want you guys to know I got really heavy into my spirituality at that time, and I started to put two and two together, and I kind of felt like it actually was my ex that was attacking me spiritually, because who else would have a vendetta against me like that bad? Allegedly. Let me say allegedly, because the ops is watching. He was physically, verbally, and emotionally abusive. He would literally like destroy my belongings. He would cut up my wigs, push me into mirrors. Like, when I found out that somebody was trying to curse me, hex me, but do death spells on me, all kind of crazy shit, I knew it was him, because look how he was treating me in real life. Look how in real life he was going out of his way to destroy me as a human being. Allegedly. Like I said, I was definitely on some ghetto shit. I was definitely out of my mind. I mean, how would you feel if you found out that somebody you were sleeping with, somebody you were struggling with, somebody who you had to get an abortion by, was like doing voodoo on you? Allegedly. I mean, how would you feel, girl? So now that you guys kind of have a backstory of like where I was mentally, I'm pretty sure it makes sense to you why on this particular day I just got like so fucking pissed off that I got in my car and I drove over there, and I was just like, I'm gonna get the truth, and if I don't get the truth, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, I was mentally prepared to go over there and beat his handicapped ass up, because like I said, around this time he had just got hit by a car. He couldn't even stand up for long periods of time. I was going over there to fight. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Hit me. Because from my perspective, I'm like, okay, so you think you're gonna ruin my life and get away with it? I'm gonna get my lick back every fucking chance I get. I guess I just worked myself up, bitch. I was trying to process a lot. Like, my feelings was hurt on so many different levels, because if I knew how he really felt about me, I would have left. Like, if he really made me feel like he didn't like me that much, I would have left. And he was really like stringing me along and making me feel like we was gonna be something. And when I realized that I went through all that shit for nothing, bitch,
I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm not nothing. So you gonna let me go?
yeah, I ended up pulling up on him, okay? So when I lived with my auntie, I probably stayed not even 10 minutes away from this boy. Not even really 5 minutes away from this boy. As mad as I was, I probably got to his house in like 3 fucking minutes. I really wanted to know. I'm like, who's the other bitch? That's really what was driving me crazy. Like, who is the other bitch? Because you got people coming in my DMs laughing at me. Ooh, haha, he. I literally felt like there was an inside joke and I was the only one that didn't know the punchline. Why everybody know the joke but me? Oh, it's because I am the joke.
How do you feel about her having 7 tattoos of Blueface tatted on her body?
Childish. It's not mental stability, not there. Like,
and I really don't know what possessed me this day, because like I said, I was already going over there. I was already like bringing him food. Like if I cooked for myself and my auntie and there was extra food, I would go bring it over there. Like, bitch, I was playing like I was Nurse Jackie or something. And I will admit, I kind of was on some manipulative shit. Like I was bringing food and I was going over his house and I was acting like I cared because I was trying to find evidence of another girl. Because it's like, how were you living a double life? You literally lived with me. I was really trying to figure out how he even found the time to cheat. Up until that point, you guys, I was just playing my role because I was trying to gather evidence. When I realized that I was never gonna get the closure that I wanted, when I started to see his entitlement, like we was just cool. Oh, can you give me breakfast from McDonald's? Oh, my mom's not answering and I need to go to the doctor. Can you give me a ride to the doctor? He was literally relying on me more than his mom. And I was like, you know what? I think I need to bust this bitch bubble. Like, we're not cool like that. Actually, you my #1 enemy, bitch. So yeah, like I said, it took no time for me to fucking get there. I pulled up in his alley. God was on my side, because when I tell you I was going over there to start some shit, that was 100,000,000% my intention. This is why I say God was on my side, because usually when I would go to his house and like drop off food or like hang out or whatever, he would have to get his crutches, come downstairs and open the door. To get into my ex-boyfriend's house from the alley, you need to have a key. So there's like one gate and sometimes that gate is open, but then there's like another gate. So there's 2 different gates that you need to get through. The one that faces the alley and the one that actually gives you entrance into the apartment complex. God was on my side because for some reason, both of the gates were open. I was so pumped up that when I actually got into the apartment complex, I was shaking because I was like, how the fuck did I even get in here? Like, even I was shook that I was able to even get into the building, because I tried before, believe me. This was not the first time I flipped out on him, okay? I tried to get up in that bitch before. Divine timing, baby. That's all I'm gonna chalk it up to. Divine timing. This is the part of the video that you guys have been waiting for, and I promise you, it will not disappoint. Bitch, my heart was racing when I got into that apartment complex. I was like, oh my god, Brianna, you might end up going to jail, girl. Like, I was so pissed off and angry. I didn't even know what I was gonna do when I laid eyes on my ex. And even though I knew that there was a possibility that I could escalate that shit to the point that I was gonna get arrested, I still felt like I had to see it through.
Got to see it through, my boy.
God damn it.
Anyway, so I'm going up these stairs. My heart is like boom, 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 boom. I'm blind with rage, right? I already told you guys, I was surprised that I was even able to get into his apartment building. So you can imagine how shocked I was when I went to the door and I banged on it one time and it flew open, bitch. And when it flew open, I had an audience. It was my toxic ex, his big brother who he worships for whatever reason because he's a loser, and his little brother who is also a fucking loser. This is like a bloodline of losers, okay? All y'all some failures. But anyway, I banged on that door one time. Boom, flew open. And when that door flew open and it was all eyes on me and I saw we had some special guests, I was like, and action. The first thing I said, I was like, is there something you want to tell me? And at the time, I was not wearing wigs. I had my Nipsey braids. Like, bitch, when I tell you I went over there ready to fight, I mean to tell you, like, my braids was about 2 weeks old. I had on Adidas track pants. Like, bitch, I was ready to go. It was not like we never fought before. That's why I told you guys at the beginning who this story time is even inspired by in the first place. And I'm gonna get into those thoughts too. So this might be a long video. It was like a cartoon. His eyes were not even in his skull. He was standing there like he saw a ghost. And I know exactly what he was thinking. How the fuck did she get in here? How the fuck did she get in here? God. God, okay? Because clearly you've been on demon time. So now I gotta come through and I gotta beat the fear of the Lord into your ass. And
I don't play with demons, Satan, get thee behind gear. About to get fucked up a margarita with 2 limes.
now, y'all know that was funny, okay? At this point, I was just there to cause a scene. Like, I knew that there was not gonna be a healthy conversation. I knew that he wasn't gonna admit that he played me in front of his brothers. Like, I knew he wasn't gonna take the opportunity to be a real man. He wants to make it seem like he's pushing P. He's so player.
I swear to God, I'm so player.
He really was like, call the police on her. You call the police. I was like, go ahead and call the police. I'm actually working on getting a restraining order on you. So how about we call the police together? Like, bitch, I was with the shit. And I told you that that's how I get when I get really, really mad. Like, when I get really, really mad, I don't give a fuck.
Jocelyn claims you actually tried to run her over in your car. Is that true?
Yeah.
Low key, I had already accepted the possibility of going to jail. I had to see it through. I mean, I had to see it through, bitch. Like, I had a fucking point that I wanted to make. I was screaming and hollering. I was throwing shit over. I remember I left out of there. I had like 4 missing nails. I went in there and I was like a Tasmanian devil, bitch. My ex actually told his little brother, he was like, get her out of here. And I looked at that little boy and I said,
I wish you would fucking touch me. I want you to fucking touch me.
it's crazy because I wasn't even drunk. Like, I was 100% sober. I was literally running off pure fucking hate and rage. I was ready to fight 3 grown-ass men. I did not care. I want you to touch me, bro. I already knew because I was getting into arguments with my ex at his house. You know, I was going over there. We would get into little arguments because I'd be in my feelings or whatever. I already knew that his neighbors had made a complaint to the manager, like a noise complaint to the manager. And I already knew that my ex was worried about being kicked out. So that's part of the reason why I decided to really escalate that whole situation, because that's what I wanted. Like, I wanted him to get kicked out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why not? I mean, you're doing voodoo on me. Allegedly. So the big brother, he comes to the door. He's like, all right, that's enough. Y'all can argue later. Because his big brother knew that my ex was lying about not dealing with me anymore. Like, me and my ex really used to fight. Like, we really used to get down. Like, we used to like tussle. Sometimes my ex would go around his family. He would have like scratches on him and stuff like that. Or like his clothes would be torn or something like that. I mean, obviously he would tell people what I did, but he would never tell people what he did to escalate the situation.
And we got to fight. Bitch, we was at my motherfucking front door fighting like 2 niggas.
When his big brother tried to close the door on me, I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna let him. I was like, you know what? You've done a lot. You've made your point. But something about him telling me like,
Y'all can argue later.
something about him being so cocky that I was just gonna fuck with his little brother again sent me into another rage. I kicked that door and I went back in there for more, bitch. I started going up again. I was telling my ex to never go in my auntie's neighborhood. I was telling my ex a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not even gonna repeat on YouTube, because what happens in the streets stays in the streets. You feel what I'm saying? But I was making it very clear that I am not the girl that he thinks I am. Shit is really not sweet between us no more. And I made it very clear to him in front of his brother, because every time I would get into it with my ex, he'll try to make it seem like, oh, well, my big brother is a gang member and my big brother's gonna protect me. So I told you my intentions in front of your big brother, and your big brother did not defend you. Your big brother did not make it seem like, oh, I wish you would do that. Your big brother was quiet. Actually, let me take it a step further. His big brother being quiet, as well as his other little brother not even wanting to look me in the eye, lets me know that they knew that my ex was guilty. How you gonna sit up here and let some girl pretty much break into your house, threaten your brother, and you don't even defend him? They were not even defending him. Like, and I think that's what made me spiral out of control even more when they tried to close the door on me, because I'm like, y'all know he's wrong. Nobody is trying to put me in my place. Nobody is telling me, oh, I'm gonna call my sister, I'm gonna have my sister come over here and beat your ass. That situation was crazy. That situation was crazy. Like, they could have hurt me. There were 3 grown men in that apartment. That situation could have went absolutely left. Like, they could have pulled me in there and anything could have happened. What can I say? I'm God's favorite. I mean, that situation was the last time I ever saw my ex face to face. And that's why I told you guys at the beginning of the video that this story time is actually inspired by what is going on between Blueface and Chrisean. So let's get into this girl talk. I am going to take what I just told you guys in that story and kind of like apply it to what I feel like is going on between Blueface and Chrisean. Because it is ridiculous, but I relate because I was in a ridiculous ass relationship. I'm gonna be honest with you guys because I have been dying to tell you this since the beginning of the video. The main reason why I decided not to do a commentary video about Chrisean and Blueface is because one thing I'm not gonna do is come on here and make it seem like if I was in Chrisean's position, I would do anything different, because clearly I wouldn't.
You're the so what? If I want to get away from you, let me get away from you.
I felt like in using my own story, I would be able to get my point across even better as I share my thoughts on what I feel like is going on with Blueface and Chrisean. Even though I'm tired of being in Chrisean's business, I am still rooting for her.
Tomorrow.
I can't wear the shit because it's easy for me.
I will be honest, sometimes I do feel like Chrisean is on some other shit. I think it was dumb as fuck that she went on Baddie South and gave Blueface all her money. She got his name over her private parts. Like, it's giving insanity to a certain extent. Bitch, I've been in love, but not like that. But I cannot judge her because I'm no better. Because if you took a microscope and you looked at my past, I too was a fucking Chrisean. If I was famous and I went through my breakup with my toxic ex and it was all over the internet, I don't even know how I would handle that. And so we need to go ahead and give props to Chrisean. A lot of people are running around and they saying that she's crazy and she's clingy and she's codependent. That girl is strong as fuck, because everybody gets to have an opinion on her life and she still keep it pushing. You could question her mental health in the comments below. You have every right to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you put yourself out there long enough, everybody's gonna question your mental health. It's stressful being in the spotlight. I am telling you guys this story because I know what it feels like to be in a relationship and you just care so much about the person and you're not getting what you want in return, but you're used to abuse, or you come from like a toxic background or a toxic family. I don't know, I guess she's just not tired of that shit yet. Cause I had to get to a point where I literally got tired, like literally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. I was tired of being treated like shit. My family treated me like shit when I was growing up, and then my friends didn't value me. The guys that I dated didn't value me. It got to a point where I was just tired of being treated like I did not matter. And I feel like Chrisean needs to get to that point. But at the same time, Blueface is literally playing in her face in the same way that my ex played in my face. Everything that my ex did kind of let me know, now that I'm in my right mind, that he didn't even like me.
I hate you! I hate you! I hate you!
Like, I was literally in a relationship with somebody that did not even like me. And I thank God that I went through that experience and I actually learned something from it, because you guys, I could literally be in another relationship going through the same thing and crying to you guys like, bitch, I would unsubscribe. If I literally got out of a toxic relationship and turned around and got in another one, I would be like, oh, I'm sick of this bitch, and I would unsubscribe. Remember when I told you guys that I wasn't in my healing phase, I was in like my realization and acceptance phase? I could honestly say that I feel like Chrisean is in her realization and her acceptance phase. And I can honestly say that I feel like pretty soon we probably won't be hearing about Blueface and Krishan. Today I saw that Krishan actually called Blueface a narcissist, and I'm like, that's obvious, especially because Blueface did have his second child with his baby mama. It's like he pretty much told Krishan where she stands, because clearly your bond is not that strong if he got somebody else pregnant.
Baby shower queen. Say hi. I got her. Damn, alright.
Blueface is the kind of person that's like, I'm gonna let you do you. Like, if you're the one that wants to look stupid, go ahead and look stupid. And that's exactly what he's been letting her do. He's recording her on social media crying, recording her on social media throwing up, recording her on social media drunk.
What's up, Rock?
Don't call me Rock, my nigga. You calling me?
I really don't know if he liked that girl for real. I really don't. And I know if I was Krishan and I was literally in her shoes, spending time with him, glowing up with him, like she literally glue up being with him. Chains, beautiful lace fronts, always on the Shade Room, a show on Zeus. Actually, now that I think about it, Krishan and Blueface were going to get their own show on Zeus Network. Y'all let me know in the comments below if they're actually still gonna do that. But I saw a video on YouTube that's saying that Zeus dropped their show. I've been where Krishan is at. When I was dating my ex, I actually got into it with his mom and his sister. The sister pulled a knife out on me. Krishan got into it with Blueface mom and his sister.
Already.
I don't even want to talk about how Krishan feels about herself. I mean, me, when I dated my ex-boyfriend, I was looking for love that I felt like I wasn't getting in my family. I guess I was kind of looking for that with my ex-boyfriend. And I feel like my ex-boyfriend really triggered a lot of my childhood wounds, because I was abused emotionally. I was abused physically. I was emotionally neglected. I was put down. You know, I wasn't wise enough to see it at the time. I wasn't wise enough to realize that, like, I was facing my childhood triggers in this relationship, and it was pretty much up to me if I was gonna change the trajectory of my life or not. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like Krishan is going to do that. It's hard to accept that you spend so much time with somebody, you opened up to somebody, you told somebody your life story, they turn around and did you dirty too. Like, that's so hard to accept. It's hard to process in your mind that somebody don't like you when you've opened up to them and you showed them who you really are. That shit hurts so fucking bad. And I mean, no shade, I am not trying to be petty, but I thank God that I went through what I went through with my ex and I was not famous, because bitch, if I went through that shit and it was all in the Shade Room, oh my God, I don't even know, bitch. I definitely would not be okay. At the end of the day, I really do empathize with Krishan. I really would love to see her boss up. I would love to see her get her own show. Like, if she ever legit breaks up from Blueface, I would love to see like a little reality TV show series dedicated to her glow up, or dedicated to her life after Blueface. Like, bitch, I want to see you eating a tub of ice cream. I want to see you crying. I want to see you going through the motions, because breakups are hard, and heartbreak is something that I feel like nobody on this planet can avoid. You know what I'm saying? And I'm rooting for that bitch. It's so crazy how you could be quick to judge somebody at first, and then when you look at your own life, you probably relate to that person more than you think you do. I could look at Krishan and I could be like, man, I'm so tired of this weird ass bitch. Like, just leave him. But there was a time in my life where people were tired of me because I was constantly complaining about the same guy, and it was just like, okay, then leave his ass. But honestly, sometimes it really is easier said than done. At the end of this video, I just want to say, you guys don't ever have to worry about me letting a man control my emotions that much that I come that far out of character, damn near risk going to jail just to prove a point for my fucking ego. With that being said, if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Support your girl. Get those fingers moving in the comments below and let me know which part of the video did you guys relate to the most. Did you guys relate to the story time and just being so blinded by rage you can't even think straight? Or did you guys relate to the girl talk where I pretty much was like, before you judge this girl, be like Michael Jackson and go ahead and look at that man in the mirror real quick? That's all I really want to use my platform to do, is to like get people to realize that like, you're not perfect. You're never gonna be perfect. Stop just just stop. We are all on this planet growing and learning and hopefully trying to be better people. With that being said, I love you guys. I really do. And I just want you guys to be better people. One story at a time. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for all the love and support you've been showing me in those comments. You guys really motivate me to keep going. And because of that, I will see you in the next video. Till next time.